Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today, we're discussing a 2020 500-piece limited edition from Bell & Ross. Launched this year, this is the Bell & Ross BR05 Skeleton Blue, 40 millimeters in stainless steel with a gorgeous blue sapphire dial underlay. The timepiece is remarkably thin at only 10.9 millimeters thick, and from lug to lug, 47.6 millimeters. That's from case end to case end. Throw it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. It's quite comfortable and compact. It's one of the best fitting of the Nautilus style watches that have come out over the last year, and to its credit, it doesn't aspire to the price points of most watches in this integrated bracelet category, which gives it plenty of distance from its inspiration, both in terms of the economics and in terms of the aesthetics. This is a timepiece that wears well on a small wrist. You can see there's plenty of distance on either side of my wrist. Even if your wrist is only 13 centimeters in circumference, I'd still give this a try. It fits easily under a cuff. The bracelet, the case, the clasp are all best in the industry quality for the price point, as Bell & Ross is a Chanel-owned company alongside G&F Chatelain, which makes some of the finest case components in the business. It is an integrated bracelet. You can see it matches the swell of the lugs. Satin finish vertical on the side, satin finish longitudinal on the top, intermediate links in high polish, and impressively for the price point, removable links fixed by screws, not by pin sleeves. You'll also note that there are intermediate size links built in, so you can finally size this one. Again, screw fixed links, impressive. Even Patek doesn't do that anymore. Now, taking a close look at the opposite side, you can see there are two more intermediate sized links. And then the clasp itself is a double fold with a twin trigger release, with the Bell & Ross ampersand closing sequentially after the opposite side. Twin trigger release, so this one's staying shut until you push the triggers. The case is nicely made. Now, this isn't artisanal finish on the level of Patek, AP, or Vacheron, but it's effective and handsome. The design is original. It works in what is basically a Bell & Ross instrument-style case. You have these integrated lugs grafted on, and then you have the elements of contrasting finish working well. The pagoda-style case is satin finished vertically on its side, which is unusual, as this kind of case is usually longitudinally finished. The lugs are broken out just enough that they have a separate sculptural form of their own, and then there's a lovely transitional bevel down both sides that adds a sharp contrast. You can see that the shear guards for the crown could be removed if they ever get gouged because they're held by screws. The crown itself is a screw-down unit, and the watch is 100 meters water resistant. There's a nice bevel to the bezel itself, but you can see there's also a vertical portion to it that has vertical satin finish, so even in detail, the finish is impressive. These at first appear to be screws. They are not screws, they are bolts, and they're held by a nut on the opposite side of the bezel. That's how they're able to align the way they do. There's a sapphire crystal on top, and then there's another one below. The one on top protects the dial. The one below features the individual applique indices, and then the Bell & Ross logo. Now, it's also tinted blue, which is, of course, the source of this watch's nomenclature. But if you look closely, there's some thoughtful detailing going on, including the slight countersink of the end of the indices into a chaptering or rayhaut in a darker blue. The dial hovers above the Bell & Ross caliber. Of course, Bell & Ross has a name for it. They call it the B&R 322. I call it a Sellita SW300, but impressively, it has been cut out in open wrought, we shall say. So you can see some of the mechanism below. You can see the clutch system for setting the watch and winding the watch, the motion works that control the hands and the cannon pinion. You've got the escapement and the balance visible from the dial side. And the watch is quite easy to read, which is not universal in this genre of timepiece, the open worked dial. Unscrewing the crown, I can demonstrate the hacking seconds function. Turning it over, I have to say the watch is probably more attractive from the dial side, at least from a movement standpoint. There's not a whole lot going on the reverse side. It's a Sellita SW300, which is basically Sellita's version of an ETA 2892A2. Bidirectional automatic winding, 40 to 42 hour power reserve, stop seconds, 4 Hertz beat rate, and once again, all of this inside a 100 meter water resistant case. It looks good, it feels good, it's priced right, and there's a lot of integrity to the way it's built. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And I am back with the Bell & Ross BR05 Skeleton Blue by night.